So this fuck had a death wish. Alright.
いいでしょう。確かに交渉決裂だ。あなたには今ここで死んでいただく。この段階で代替品を潰してしまえば、少なくともメルクリウスは戻ってこない。そしてそうなれば、ハイドリヒ教も完全な復活はできないでしょう。その後のことはまあ立ち回り次第でどうとでもなる。
As Spinne raised his abnormally long arms, a series of fine wires shot out of each of his fingertips.
あなたはまだ生物の形成ができていない。そんなことで私に勝つことはできませんよ。
Whoa! The wires rapidly shot forward. They may have been able to cut through a human like butter, but that didn't mean they were powerful enough to cleave their target. To be more specific, they were actually rope wires, an instrument used to tie up and strangle a victim to death. In other words, I had to be more wary of being caught and tied up rather than cut. The wire's trajectory bent like a snake, but I managed to dodge them by a hair's breadth. Despite being a piece of flesh sliced off from the tip of my shoulder, the adrenaline surging within me dulled all the pain. Okay then, now what? We were separated by roughly 5 meters, hardly a distance that would allow me to hit him, given my current level of control, which meant I had to get closer. The Spinne had laid down wires all around him. If I carelessly approached them, he'd either tear me to shreds or cocoon me. A mainly defensive strategy befitting a coward, but a logical one nonetheless. At my current level, slipping on through and getting close to him would be nigh impossible. If only I had a weapon with mass myself. Perhaps it was reckless of me to hope for that when I couldn't even fully master activation. But unless I tried, I'd never turn the tides here.
どうしました？今さらおじけづいたというのではないでしょうね。まさか。
Just running my brain at full speed to come up with a way to kick his ass. Really wish he'd quit interrupting my thoughts with his grating voice.
なるほど。顔に似合わず好戦的だ。どうやらあなた、方向性は違えど、私やベイと同じ系統かもしれませんね。そしてそうであれば、単純な経験の差がものを言う。それを覆す裏技など持ち合わせてはいないでしょう。やつら、ジークファイルビクトリア！
The wires covering Spinne solidified into a strangling cord, the same instrument of death that snuffed the life out of countless prisoners at Warsaw. It must have been similar to my guillotine, in which case maybe the way he wielded it could provide me with some kind of hint. Once the wires shot out again, I used my Asya in an attempt to offset their assault. However,
無駄ですよ、そんなものでは。
flash I fired off was literally chopped up by Spinne's net-like multi-layered wires. Slicing things up was supposed to be my specialty, yet he cleanly beat me at my own game. I knew it. I wasn't going to win at this rate. I kicked off a nearby tree, forcing myself to dodge the attack. The spot I used to stand at ended up being shredded by wires, transforming benches and street lamps alike into thin slices. I fired off another omnidirectional flash the moment I landed. I wasn't gonna have perfect control of it either way, so this still beat trying and failing to aim properly. Miraculously enough, it headed straight for Spinne, but
ですから言ったでしょ。無駄ですよ。
the wires protecting him once again tore my Asya to shreds, leaving me firmly between a rock and a hard place. But I had to keep dodging his attacks for now. If I got caught, it was all over. The wires spread before me resembled a casting net, and I had no confidence I could indefinitely evade their attempts at seizing me. Using the little time I still had left, be it minutes or mere seconds, I needed to find a way to turn the tables. I didn't come here to die today. Good. I managed to dodge that one. Just a little more and...
違いますね。すでに大手ですよ、ザラトゥストラ。
I realized that a wire had trapped around my right arm. Shit! A second later, I found myself once again dragged away into a spider web. With such inhuman speed, I nearly passed out. Having been slammed into a net strong enough to slice through steel, my body sprayed blood in all directions. The fact I came out of the ordeal with my limbs still intact could have been counted as a tremendous luck, yet it was far too early to celebrate. Now that I'd been caught up in the wires, I had no way of prying myself free of their deadlock through my own strength alone. Was she among the strung up, violated female bodies hanging next to me?
どうしたのです？ほうけた顔をして。
お前。
Panic flooded my mind for a minute, or Spinne cut me off before I could say anything.
ああ、なんでもいい。それで、サラトゥストラ、どうされます？今私の指先にほんの少しでも力がこもれば、あなたの五体はバラバラだ。そこの女たち同様、ここで死を選びますか？いや違う。そんなはずはない。死に瀕して恐怖を覚えない人間など私は見たことがありません。ですからもう一度聞きましょう。あなた、私と手を組みませんか？もっとも。
The wires coiling around me grew tighter with a creak, sinking into my flesh in an attempt to cut me up into round slices.
断ればどうなるかわかりますね。今度はもう逃がしませんよ。
He was right. Unless I gave in to his demands, I'd die here. But right now, all such negative emotions had been washed clean from my mind.
さあどうされます、ザラトゥストラ。私と共に黒煙卓を制圧し、有意義な生を謳歌するか、ここで死ぬか。
おい、あのさ。
After a short beat, I exhaled a deep breath. How would I put it? He loved the sound of his own goddamn voice far too much. I was trying to have a bit of a moment here, yet this fuck went on about his nails on chalkboard speech.
あんた、巨乳の女ってどう思う？
What the fuck?
何？
だから胸大きい女。俺は好きだし他の大多数だってそうだよな。別に貧人をバカにしてるわけじゃないけど、男なんて基本ドイツも体感巨峰主義なんだし。
Huh.
何事もでかいに越したことはない。大は小を兼ねるって。ああほら、あんたの国でなんて言うのかは知らないけど、多分万国共通概念だろう。
Yup.
でもそれはそこらのハンパマニアの話で、俺はちょっと違うんだな。
何よ。
わかんねえかな。小さいよりでかいに越したことはない。オッケー、そりゃそうだろう。
Okay.
でもな、でかけりゃいいってもんじゃないんだよ。形とか、乳首の色とか、大きさとか、いろいろ細かい判断基準があってだな。その中でも俺は、まあなんていうか、マニアックな趣味してんだよ。
Huh. Naturally, I had not been aware of it myself, but I used to have this jackass of a friend who wouldn't shut up about it.
一応今だけあいつに感謝しようと思う。でなきゃ選択をミスってたかもしれないし。
だから、あなたは何を言っている？
簡単だよ。
Oh, there she is. I met his confusion with a smirk. It sounded ridiculous when I said it out loud, but she did seem to be a bit of a fated partner to me. I mean, I even remembered even a minuscule trait of hers.
俺は胸にほくろがある女がいいんだよ。ってわけで、この連中と心中する気もあんたと手を組むつもりもない。
Ooh.
女の趣味が全然合わないみたいだしな。
Now was the time to show him what Ren Fuji was made of.
いいでしょう。これほど愚かな男だとは思わなかった。
だから死ぬ気はないって。
ふざけ
！The wire sank deeper into my body. I would have no doubt taken it less than a second to tear my flesh, cleave through my bones, and sever my torso. A second that felt as short as it was hopeless. None of my attempts at resistance would have borne fruit quick enough to be effective. A frame of time so brief would have been enough for little to nothing. Under normal circumstances, I would have died for certain, no doubt about it. So what I had to do was slice up that very second, extending it. For the longest time, I had always wished I could stop time. As such, I'd already gotten used to manipulating my perception of it. I'd slice it up into a moment that felt like an eternity. And within that hollow, empty space, where a single second had been extended to last a million, I would have had enough time to think of a countermeasure. I'd form my unnerved shaping into a palpable weapon sharp enough to slice through these wires. I may not have been fond of blades, but this too felt like karma at work. On that rainy night, I'd already made peace with the fact that I might die. In other words, there could only have been one reason still preventing me from mastering this power. I'd been reluctant to involve this girl, Marie, in all of this. I couldn't bring myself to make her witness another's death, to force her into the battlefield, and that fact alone might have been the sole dividing line separating us. I should have understood, should have noticed. She had severed my head on countless occasions. She was the guillotine, an instrument to carry out executions. Her sole purpose was to decapitate, to kill. Her only effective means of communication converged upon the singular act of beheading. Then, within the confines of a moment frozen in time, I plunged down into the deepest recesses of my ego, attempting to converse with my Ananurb, with Marie. Can I truly wield you? Will you permit me to lift you out of there? I'm not much of a heartthrob, nor have I grown used to dealing with girls, so being at my side probably won't be too fascinating an experience. Even now, I'm about to claim you for my own, to stain your innocent soul with my blood of others. Despite that, could you still forgive me? Will you still accept me as your partner? Please answer me. My innermost desire to spare you the most gruesome sight of death hasn't changed in the slightest, but right now I really do need your power. I need to materialize my killing intent to beat this guy. I'm begging you, grant me a weapon that would help me return to those days of old. A blade to protect all those I hold dear. A guillotine to sever the chains of the law holding us prisoner. I won't mistreat you. I swear on my life. So long as I go against my principles and make you witness blood and death, I will lay everything bare before you, so please, decide. In the end, am I a man worthy of you? How do you feel about me? It was then that I heard a voice echo in the very bottom of my consciousness. The unus mundus that lay even beyond my ID, or id. See, in that case, there is no more need to hesitate. Let us go then, side by side, and raise the curtains on tonight's grand guignol.
奴ら